y'all, Natalie here for Cherry on Top, and today I'm doing a Valentine's layout with this Be My Valentine collection from Echo Park from the Cherry on Top store. And are you guys ready? It's February and it's time for Valentine's Day and all things love. Look at that card. Come on. You're a big Dill. Delightfully crafty. Dill is our last name. I had to use that. Also, I wish I had 100 more cards like that. So today I'm going to do a grid layout. And so I'm going to talk about how to make a perfect grid layout imperfectly, because you know me, I'm not neat and perfect, and that's not my jam. So it's grid. It's like, laid out perfectly squared, but it's not. So here I have my patterned paper. And so the first thing that we're going to talk about is using pattern paper and a couple solids. Throw a couple solids in there to help break up all the patterns and to help back some of the pretty embellishments you're going to use. Now I want to put these two black and white pieces on the sides to make everything pop, and I specifically didn't use my paper cutter for this because I want to have this distressed uneven look. So I wanted my lines to not be perfectly cut. So I'm trying to kind of keep everything together how I want it to design out, and I'm roughing up the edges, inking them up in black. You know how I do, right? So I'm trying to keep this background paper as 12 by 12. And so you'll see me sometimes using the grid on my Tim Holtz mat there to make sure that it stays 12 by 12. And so there's one side, and then I'm going to work on the other side. And so another tip for building a grid is I went to my die cut machine, my manual one, and I just cut a few circles and a few basic shapes like leaves and hearts, and just had them there ready because I'm going to use them as layering pieces. And so it's easier than every single time I'm working on my layout to go and be like, oh, I need a layering piece, and cut out one single piece. You know what I mean? So I just have like a little group of cardstock die cuts on the side for layering. So now I'm gonna splatter, and I'm gonna try to keep this to a minimum. I just want a few really bold, plus I'm using red, and that can get bloody. So you don't want it to look like blood, so less is more with red splatter, y'all. So that's gonna set over to the side and dry. And I'm sorry, I should have put some paper down to see, but this is a geometric heart die cut, and what I'm doing is I'm just taking a little bit of red twine and tying it around the center part of one of the lines, and you can't really tell against the black background, but you'll be able to see it. It's super cute. I love how it turned out. So there, the splatters have dried. They look nice. I'm happy with that. And so now I'm going to start building my layout. And so I'm going to have the grid over to the right. So the left is going to be messy. It's going to have those crooked photos, and like I said, perfectly imperfect here. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to put the patterns together. I'm backing my photos, and that card is going to be like the title of the page. I'm using that red doily. I'm using some of the circles, die cut circles that I cut out with my manual die cut machine. They're from a 2D, I think 2D is the name of the die, and they have this cute little circle die like cut out of the side of around the edges. Sorry, I'm not making sense. It's like a little eyelet kind of thing. Eyelet lace, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So anyway, so I'm adhering down my squares here, and I am making sure that they're all evenly spaced because that's part of the perfectly imperfect, So I have the messy splatters, I have the perfectly spaced out squares. Now, I'm not getting a ruler out or anything, but then we work on making them imperfect, building the embellishments outside of the parameters of the square. And to me, that's what makes it visually pleasing to the eye. I also always like to throw in a shape like that heart that is not a square, that is not going along with the grid. And you could even do a grid with square photos and circles, or circle, patterns and squares. So you'll see that little sticker I stuck off, a little bit outside of that square. I wanted to use these balloons because he's holding a balloon, but using it there in that grid, I thought was going a little too far out of the grid. So I ended up sticking it over here on the main photo. And I also, I fussy cut that flower down there at the bottom because I'll tell you what, almost or a huge amount of the stickers on the sticker sheet were words. And I don't want to use too many words. I have a lot of words on the card. The one sticker I used has a lot of words. So I'm looking for things that are not words. So that is something to keep in mind. And that's another reason that I use the basic cardstock die cuts that I cut from my machine. So I mimic the flower with that little sticker. I'm using a little strip of hearts here. So I like combining the sticker sheet with the basic cardstock. And just, using the rule of 3 there, 3 little things layered together and contrast there. And I'm going to finish it off with these Nuvo dots just to kind of give a cohesion to everything. I'm going to put Nuvo dots over here on the right, and then I'm going to bring that over here on the left to give a pop of white and give cohesion to the look of the page. I hope that you picked up a couple tips here. Let me know if you have any questions, and pop over to the Cherry on Top store because we have so many cute things for Valentine's Day, and all of the new stuff from Creativation is also starting to arrive, and it's delightful. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.